One of my big memories is how joyful it all was. There was a lot of laughter, a lot of happiness really. People were expecting a really grand occasion, and a grand occasion it was. Yes, well, it poured, absolutely poured down. And people were kind of all huddled together and not many umbrellas. You find yourself being shifted one way or another. And I was getting shifted further and further back. And this lovely Asian man turned to me and said, "Come, she's your queen." This was just as the parades were starting. So he took me and stood me on the curb next to his family, which was wonderful. After the war, where there'd been such a lot of restrictions and life was very meagre, I mean, hand-down clothing and stuff, we got used to it. And people were a bit critical. But here we were, you know, flags and bunting and uniforms and horses and luxury. That's what it felt like, a day of sheer luxury. You know, that smile was always there, but underneath there must have been a lot of big challenges for her. And she was a young mother, young children, and her father's death was sudden. But of course she was well prepared, thankfully.
King Charles's coronation will be much smaller. There will be just over 2,000 guests, whereas in 1953 for the Queen's coronation there were over 8,000 seated in the Abbey and tier upon tier going almost up to the roof. And you can describe the 1953 coronation, if you like, as the last hurrah for empire, because Britain then still had colonies all around the world, and many of the guests who came from those colonies in countries of what is now the British Commonwealth. Public opinion suggests there is less very strong support for the monarchy, and the palace is always sensitive to those changes in public opinion, and therefore it doesn't want the coronation to be a very expensive or extravagant occasion. I would expect this to be a very spiritual event because King Charles himself has a very strong religious belief. The coronation is presided over by the Archbishop of Canterbury. It will be a Church of England service, including a communion in the middle of it, and the King is anointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury with holy oil brought from Jerusalem. But I would also expect a prominent role for representatives of other faiths.
I'm fairly comfortable our horses are ready for procession work. They've done quite a lot of it over the last 12 months, but it's just getting them used to the different noises and sounds and bands that they'll experience on the day.
There was an incentive from the Central Council of Church Bell Ringers called Ring for the King to try and recruit as many new bell ringers as we could to ring for the coronation.
bell ringers will always ring for royal celebrations, whatever they are. We love an excuse to have lots of extra ringing. It's not easy and it does take some learning. We often reckon that it takes about 10 hours of teaching for you to be comfortably able to ring the bell and control it well on your own.
I think a lot of people my age don't really like, it's not like that we don't care, it's just kind of not important to us. It's just one of those things that's happening again. It's just nothing really special to us because I don't think we were raised with the idea of the royals being something amazing. It was just kind of something that was in our country.